Hi comrade, welcome on CGMA channel. My name is Alexey, I'm environment artist in game development industry, and on this channel I share my experience about everything familiar to 3D in games. In this video I will teach you how to create a sand material and how to render it. Okay, so first thing you have to do is to collect some references, and I highly recommend you to first of all grab some close-ups. Okay, I like this one. This one I think is fine as well. Maybe, yeah. This one. I like this one, this. And that's my board here. I will just drag it to my second screen. So let's go ahead. I would like to change some nodes here near the output. For example, I don't like normal node. I prefer height to normal. Now let's create a blend node. Always, if you work with height map, switch it to 16 bits per channel. Let's connect it here, here, and here. And the first thing I always do is trying to find the best, base of my material just by choosing from one of the existing noises from Substance Designer. And let's try Clouds 2, Fractal Sum 4, Gaussian noise, Moisture noise, maybe Plasma. Alright, that's enough. It's definitely not Clouds 3, maybe Clouds 2. I think this one is looking more like mud, not sand. Let's try Plasma, Moisture noise. I think it's a good one, but probably for a final surface details, Let's check this one, Fractal Sum 4. I can't scale it down, no, it's not working for me, it's too noisy. Let's try Gaussian noise. I think those three nodes, what is it? But Plasma, I will need to blur it, and they're almost same with Gaussian noise, but I have to work on it more. I can scale it down, it's not working, so let's try with Gaussian noise. Now let's slightly warp everything. For now it's looking too clean. I need a smooth warping, so I will use same noise, Gaussian noise, but with a different random seed. Now let's duplicate this warp, apply Safe Transform here to increase the scale, and let's decrease the intensity. Now let's get back to our references. And references are a very important thing. For example, if you will try to create a 3D cat without references, instead of this, you can get this. Let's take a look at sand. As you can see here, we have on each sample, we have sort of pinched areas. And we need to somehow do the same. And I know the way. And the way is a slope blur. You have to slope blur your sand with itself, but with a small difference. And as you can see, now it's not pinched, but instead it's inflated. And we can easily fix it by inverting our slope input here this way. And that's it. As you can see, now we have our pinch, but it's a bit too sharp. So I will blur it for this amount, I guess. Switch it to minimum and reduce intensity. Now let's take a look at our height map. What I see here is that my histogram is shifted to left side. I have a lot of space in white, in high areas of my height map, so I can easily add some relief and details to a height map, but I don't have enough space in low areas of my height map, so I can't subtract. Maybe it will be just fine, but just to just to secure myself, I will shift this low thing here, and I will have and now I have some extra space. Just trust me, it's really helpful thing. My pinched area, I mean this pinched things, they are very sharp, like a blade. Maybe for sand it's okay, but I just want to slightly blur only my high areas just a little bit, and I want to show you how to do it. And I always do it with non-uniform blur grayscale. Just blur it with itself, just a little bit, you see? It only affects my high areas, and it's awesome. In case if you don't know how such nodes as slow blur or non-uniform blur works, I will explain it in one of my next videos. There will be a specific video for that. So stay tuned, stay with me. And now I want to break down some areas of my surface with the same non-uniform blur node. If you don't know how to duplicate without connections, this duplication is Ctrl D. And this duplication is Ctrl plus Shift plus D. And let's break some areas. Let's use moisture noise. I really like this noise. It's actually one of my favorites. Scale it up, not much. And another trick I want to show you is press a spacebar and zoom out. You can see that this very obvious repeating because of those small, dots here. And if you want to avoid tiling visibility of your material, just tweak this random seed attribute in every noise nodes. Let's try. This one is better, this one is same, this one is good. Okay, I think this one is much better in compared to our first one. Let's plug it here as our blur map. Now I will hold Shift key and drag it here. That's how it works, in case if you want to switch your input. And now let's blur. And as you can see, it blurs almost everything, which is not okay for me. I will apply levels. Now I think it's okay, a bit too intense. I will create extra one with the same noise, but I will scale it up. And that's how I break my surface. And now let's add some micro details of our sand surface. And I know the exact nodes I would like to see here. It's moisture noise and black and white spots too. I will scale it up to something like 4. I will do the same I shown you before. And I will blend it here with my surface in add sub mode, and I will change my opacity very much. Let's plug it first. Oh, it's so bad. And let's just apply, I guess, 0.5. I think it's okay. As I said, 16 bits. Let's duplicate and apply our black and white spots too. Same way. But we have a problem here. As you can see, we have, let me show you. We have some bright areas like this area, and we have some dark areas like this one. And it's not okay for me, because I want just this small interesting surface details, exactly dots, spots, black and white spots, not big areas. And here's easiest way to fix it: high pass grayscale. And as you can see, it removes our big dark and bright areas this way, but it keeps those small black and white spots, which is great for me. Let me show you how it works much better. However, I have to increase scale, I think even 3 times, and I want to see just a little bit of those surface details here. I look at this and I still don't like it, and there is the exact reason of why I don't. First of all, let's increase our normal intensity to 10, and let's get back to our references, especially to our close-up references. And if you look on this, it's not that much close-up. You will see that some of those pieces are shining, like this one, you understand. But we have only 2K resolution. Even if we will have 4K resolution, we won't be able to create each piece of sand separately. So we just can't create this amount of crystals. But there's a trick. How can we reach this result? Sort of this result. Let me show you. use white noise, here is it, it's just a noise, 1 pixel each, and create a shape, just a shape, parabolate, apply normal here, increase intensity to something around 150. To our white noise, apply gradient map, hold Alt key and press here. You will have your normal map here in your 2D view, but you will still be in your gradient map node. And zoom in a bit and click gradient editor and pick gradient and do this. And that's it, you have this gradient. Take a look here, that's what we've got. It's just a normal noise, we don't need it anymore. Now let's blend it with our normal map, but we don't need everything from here, we have to mask it. Duplicate white noise, very important, change random seed parameter to any, create histogram scan, increase contrast and use position of 0.05 for example, and use normal blend node. Let's combine, that's it. And now take a look here, you see, you probably not seen yet. Let's increase amount, and that's what we've got. Much better, isn't it? I know it is. I will decrease my opacity and decrease my position. Now let's compare before and after, before and after. So now we have sort of a sparkles here, and it's great. But yet our sand is not interesting as I want it to be, and I will show you one more trick. It is direction. Imagine that there were a wind here, from here to here, or any direction, it doesn't matter. And now I will show you how to reach sort of this effect. Create a gradient map, default, this one, and just slope blur it, but you have to do it before your surface mode details. It's our final polishing details. You have to do it somewhere here. Grayscale here, slope here. And that's what we've got. You see? Increase samples, and now we can easily see that we have a direction, but also it blurs everything, and I don't like this. I think I will switch my mode to minimum, and that's it, much better. There's a small problem of this trick, very strong seam here. Let me show you how to fix it. Take a look, before, after. Unfortunately, our sand is still not as interesting as I want it to be. I want to add some details. As you can see on references, I mean those, it has some sticks, small random pieces of everything, whatever is near your sand. It might be trees. I think I will just add some bigger pieces of sand, of rocks or stones, and there's another easy way how to do it, and it's just a tile sampler node with a lot of, in my case this amount, paraboloid patterns with this color random, mask random, and I don't want them to be everywhere. It's not okay for me, I don't like it. Blend, add 16 bits, don't forget it, here and here. That's what we've got. Oh, it's too intense. Just a bit, that's enough. The thing I don't like is that, as I said, they are everywhere, but in fact they shouldn't be. And I will use my height map, this one, as a mask. That's it. I will tweak levels. And I will just use this slider, mask map threshold or threshold, I don't know. And now it's good. I have this small pieces only in my deep areas. And now our small pieces, as you can see, are very clean and perfect. I will just slightly warp them. Now it's good. I just noticed that I left one mistake here, that I applied my direction after this surface damaging nodes, and now I can see some sort of leaks here. I will just change its place from here, oops, to here. And I finally like my sand, I mean height map of my sand. And here's another good trick for you in case if you would like to add some this sort of smooth concaves to your sand. Here's easiest way how you can do it. Tile sampler, slightly warp it like I did here, a bit of blur, and blend it to your surface in a subtraction mode. You can also add a mask from the input itself to subtract the tile sampler stuff only from high areas of your height map. And that's how it looks like. And after that, just play with parameters here in tile sampler, scale, amount I mean, scale, and mask random. But for me, I don't need it, so I will skip this step. I like it as it is. In fact, it's really easy to create a base color for sand. First step, open Photoshop. I have 3 images of my close-ups here. I will skip this one and I will use them in Photoshop this way. First one, oh, canvas is too big. Image, adjustments, shadows, highlights. I don't need this eye here. Same thing. This one few times. Now you see the difference. We will just do the same like we did with sparkles on normal map with a gradient node, with a gradient map node. Let's choose one of our noises, this one for example, moisture noise. Click on gradient editor and just paint over here. That's it. For now it has big areas. I don't want them to be here. Let's try again. And now it's better. It's more noisy, as you can see. Let's keep this one. Create another. I will do the same with another image. Again. That's it. And last one. And this one is definitely the best. Now I create a white noise. I duplicate these 3 gradient map nodes here and plug it this way. And now I will just blend them together. I think I will copy this node with different random seed and once again. This one is more interesting than it was before. One more blend node. Good, I like it. I will blend those 3 together as well. I did the same thing with a random seed and noise here. Now that's okay. And now I blend them together. And there's actually one more interesting thing I can do with my color to make it, just to highlight the shapes of my sand. I'm not sure that it will work, but it's worth trying. I plug it here before the actual damage and create a curvature smooth node, this one. And what we can do with it is suddenly blend in overlay mode. However, I have to tweak levels just a little bit. And now you can see shapes of our sand. It looks a bit too intensive right now. I will decrease it to this amount. What else you can do is high pass grayscale to decrease the range. And now let's try plug it to our base color node. Now I see that it's too intensive. I decrease it to 0.1, even less. Let's slightly increase the ambient occlusion. One more thing about sand. Some of the pieces of sand are transparent or semi-transparent. It means that light passes through them. So we have to add some sort of subsurface scattering, and I will try to add it into my base color as well. For this I will use ambient occlusion, but different one with strong intensity and small radius. This way. Create HSL node, increase saturation, slightly increase lightness. Blend it with itself and use our AO as mask. And now you can see that our deep areas are more saturated and brighter before, after. Let's play around with HSL. Let's try playing with our mask, which is ambient occlusion. Increase radius, not that much. I played around with my settings, and that's what I've got. Last thing we have to do with our base color is to separate our sand with those small pieces, which are almost invisible now because of the same color. Duplicate HSL here, decrease lightness and saturation, blend it, and use these small warp details like our mask. That's it. Now I can see them here and on my diffuse map as well. And now roughness. Use the grayscale conversion and plug our diffuse map here. That's it. For now it's too glossy. Now let's come back to our normal map sparkles and let's use this noise. Let's blend it with our roughness in subtraction mode. And now, as you can see, our sparkles are not only in normal but also in roughness, and they will shine like here on our reference. By the way, if you want to know some extra good tips and tricks, just research graphs of good artists. I will attach links to few of my favorite pieces in description. By the way, my Instagram. Substance Masters. Also, you can find a few other in Gumroad, but I've chosen those because I'm a simple man. I see 5 stars rating and I see a low price. Okay, I'm in. I like them, especially volume 1 and 4. Others are good as well, I'm sure, but I didn't even open them, to be honest. Let me show you a few materials which I was researching. This one is definitely my favorite one. This one was helpful for me as well in one of my cases. Also, I took few good tips from this one about fabric and some sort of modeling inside of Substance Designer. And this one, melting snow. Good example of how to work with intersection of different surfaces. In this case it's snow and stones, and snow is great itself for sure. And great thing in Substance Masters that all of the graphs are commented, as you can see here, so you don't have to waste a lot of time for searching for what you need. And in fact, I didn't watch any video tutorials about Substance Designer. They are all too long and boring. I don't know about Substance Masters, maybe I'm wrong. I hope my one, I mean this one with sand, won't be boring, but I'm not sure. You tell me, is it or not? Looking good on sphere as well, with any HDRI map. And now I'm finally happy with the result, but before we go to presentation, I would like to do One thing which I do each time I work with sort of organic materials like sand, I just went to the very beginning of my graph here, and now I will try different noises here as my first input. Now it's Perlin noise, and as you can see, the result is a bit different. Let's try to slope it. I think it's interesting. Let's try another one. Fractal sum 4. This one is very different, but it still looks like a sand, and I think it's cool. It looks a bit more dirty. Dirty. What if we will tweak slope? Yeah, I think it's cool. I really like it. And now last one. This one is good as well. And now let's compare them in Marmoset Toolbag in the final presentation. I hope this video was helpful for you, comrade, or at least interesting or funny. If yes, hit like and subscribe buttons, it will help both you and me, and if you can share it, please don't hesitate doing it as well. And that's the way I'm planning to record my videos. If you don't like something, maybe music or overall speed or maybe my speech, please let me know in comments, it's really important for me. This channel won't be like how to create a chair, it will be more like how to create literally anything for games in 3D. It's actually much more complex than you think to keep it fast and informative at the same time, especially to cut everything like this. If you... And that's it for now. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Ладно. Свободен. На, держи. Ганнибал, Ганнибал, на, конфетки. Ган.